Over time, many criminally organized groups appeared around the world. Some survived, others did not. Organized crime for many people is the only way out of an everyday 8-hour working day. Usually the criminal life does not end in the best way. Despite the fact that ordinary people are faced with organized crime only when watching amazing series or good films, the most powerful mafia act in the real world. Today we will talk about the brightest criminal groups in the world. Yakuza. Having close ties with many politicians and right-wing groups, the criminal unions of Yakuza can act without fear of the law. The largest group of Yakuza is the Yamaguchi-gumi group, 39,000 members of which represent almost half of all Japanese gangsters. A group of Kobe is growing rapidly due to acquisitions in a corporate style. The current godfather of Kenichi Shinade controls the criminal empire from prison. This closure is his second meeting with the prison. He was in prison in the 1970s for cutting his opponent with a sword. The peculiarity of Yakuza is advertising and style. Yakuza is the most frank criminal groups with official headquarters and business cards. Ever-lated dresses, typical dresses of a tiger and missing fingers cut off as a punishment for failure, create a romantic social image. Meanwhile, humanitarian gestures and the avoidance of victims among the civilian population leave the public ready to turn away from group violence. A number of recent high-profile mass killings may mean the end of the tolerant government approach, and now the police add another 10,000 police officers to take control of the gang. Meanwhile, the expansion of Yamaguchi-gumi to Tokyo causes resistance from the opponents and can lead to bloody military expeditions. Italian Mafia. When it comes to organized crime, the Italians first come to mind, the most powerful mafia. With the estimated income of $50 billion in 2005, the Italian mafia, in case of legalization, would become one of the largest Italian companies. Obviously, the goat of Nostra is the power to be considered, since it held the island in its armor for decades. Calabria's 'Ndrangheta, on the other hand, is a larger, stronger, more cruel, and global presence. Its 10,000 members form the basis of networks that sell drugs and connect Colombia with European markets. The Italian mafia has strong local and family ties. The goat of the Nostra is known for the observance of Omer, its code of silence, the local population, government officials, and even the church. They and other mafia families use poor communities and almost feudal societies to preserve power and influence. The arrest of Bernardo Provenzano, capo di tutti capi, boss of all bosses, near Corleone in April last year, hit the goat of Nostro. Soon after, the 24 godfathers were subjected to a series of dramatic attacks. Due to the aggressive position of the Italian levocentric government, the leadership of the Sicilian mafia broke. Soon the Italian government will be able to focus on the 'Ndrangheta and other criminal families. Mexican drug cartels. The US authorities activated the efforts to combat Colombian cartels. As a result of the war, the Colombian cartels were replaced by evil gangs from Mexico. Cartel Sinaloa and the Cartel of the Persian Gulf lead the business through the borders of Arizona and Texas. The third large group, acting from Tijuana, competes with them for the right to supply us consumer cocaine and methamphetamines coming from China. All three cartel leaders are in prison, but their organizations continue their bloody path. President of Mexico Felipe Calder gave the entire Mexican army to the bands. He even created a special division of the commandos, which is subordinate directly to him. But drugs are still produced, and corpses accumulate. This year, cartels killed more than 1,000 people, including many senior officials. Albanian Mafia. The Albanian Mafia, or the Albanian Organized Crime Group, is the general terms used to refer to criminal organizations based in Albania or consisting of ethnic Albanians. Albanian organized crime is active in Europe, North America, South America, and other parts of the world, including the Middle East and Asia. The Albanian Mafia participates in a number of criminal groups, including drug trafficking, weapons, people and human bodies. The Albanian criminal script is characterized by a variety of criminal plans that, in its complexity, demonstrate one of the highest criminal potentials in the world. Only in Albania there are more than 15 mafia families that control organized crime. In the United States, The term Albanian Mafia may include or specifically refer to various Albanian-American organized criminal groups such as Rudaj and Balaj, both based in New York. The Albanian-American criminal groups differ in the degree of their ties with the Albanian Mafia groups in Albania or Europe. From the Albanian Mafia in Europe were largely independent of them too, in fact, as continuations of European Albanian Mafia groups. According to some reports, the Albanian Mafia today is the strongest mafia. Triad. Triad Chinese Mafia is a Chinese transnational union of organized crime based in China. The Triad has avantists in different countries with a significant population living abroad from China. The Triad in Hong Kong is different from the criminal groups of mainland China. In ancient China, the Triad was one of the three main secret societies. He created branches in foreign communities of Macau, Hong Kong, Taiwan, and China. They are known as criminal organizations of mainland China. We know two main types: dark forces, poorly organized groups, and black societies, more mature criminal organizations. The two characteristics that separate the black society from dark power are the ability to obtain illegal control over local markets and get protection by the police. The Hong Kong Triad belongs to traditional criminal organizations.